Welcome to another podcast of the current situation, Manchester United. You guys should know the rare amount of persons that watch my video podcast would know that it's rare for me to do a follow-up video. For example, if I did a video last night, Saturday night. You guys should know that it's rare for me to do like a follow-up video because usually when I'm doing a video, especially like if it's a match reaction or a preview, the thing is that it will be space between. There will be a deficit of space in between those videos. Now, given what I've told you guys a couple of videos prior, I told you guys that I won't be doing a lot of previews back to back, especially if the time gap is like United play on Monday and they have a game on Wednesday or on Thursday. I am an online student. I need rest so that I can perform at my best. So I won't be doing previews after previews after no. For some, there are some games I'll do the preview, but I won't do a follow up based on like the match reaction. Especially like if it's in the week, like if it's like on Saturday or Sunday, I don't mind. Where I can do the match reaction on Sunday night. But the thing is that if it's in the week, then I might not be up for it. Is me. So yeah, this is one of the rare occasions where I'm going to do a follow-up based on my last video. And you guys might be asking, why are you doing a follow-up video, bro? Well, it's basically like this. Hold on. It's basically like this. If you guys know anything about writing, there is a term that is known in writing, like if you're writing books, novels, or eroticas, which is basically a book, but it's a different genre of different books. But you would know there's this term known as an addendum. An addendum basically is, let's say for example, I wrote a book that consists of 13 chapters. And by the time I established and published that book, I'm like, oh snap, oh crap, I left out something that I was supposed to put at the end of chapter 11. Then I would do a follow-up or an addendum based on that following chapter. Like if you're doing mathematics, you know that you have question 1, question 2, question 3, and then you have different layers or factors to it. Like you have question 2a, question 2b, or question 2c. So basically, as you can see, I'm going to be doing the same thing into so you could say this is video podcast. I don't remember what video podcast is, but you can say this is video podcast B. And based on what I basically said last night, bro, it's based on that same racial stuff I'm talking about with Rashford and Marcel. But before I get into that, I just want to preface my comments by saying this, because some of you guys know that I'm Jamaican, and some of you guys that don't even know that I'm a Jamaican know that I'm so Jamaican. And I just want to put my prayers out there, my condolences and my bereavements for the loss of a loved one. Not a loved one of mine, because she's not in my family, but since she's from Jamaica, I mean, we're still blood like that. But there was this middle-aged lady that was killed in a church this morning in Jamaica. Now I can't speak for other countries, but bro, I guess it's to a time where not even being in church is safe anymore. Even you calling down on Jesus Christ's name on your knees, looking in the eye of the sky, and trying to show reverence and deference to Christ in church, that ain't gonna save you. Because what happened was that she was killed by gunmen in the church. And there is a video, I ain't gonna post the video, but the video is online if you look for it. These 3 sisters was singing. This is me. They were singing. The keyboard player was on the left side. And it was like you could hear shots being blown literally. And they were like taken aback. And seconds afterwards, you could hear crying, wailing. I wouldn't say gnashing of teeth, but they were crying and wailing. Basically, in Jamaican terms, they were bawling. They were bawling. People were bawling, particularly females. And I just want to say this, but I just want to mention is that we're no longer in a safe world. The world was never safe to begin with, but definitely now, given today's climate of society, whether with which whatever country, whatever colony, whatever community, this is the reality. The place is not safe, bro. Nowhere is safe. The church is not safe. Even if you're hanging on to that old rugged cross, you're not safe, bro. You're not safe. You can die in the flesh. You see me? You're still vulnerable to dying in the flesh. I know who's scratching me. Excuse me. But yeah, it's sad, bro, because I'm a Jamaican, and a Jamaican to be living from Jamaica, to be seeing that action in Jamaica, it kind of dig deep for me, because that's my home country. That's my home country. And I don't like seeing my brothers, holding gun like that, because as some would say in the streets, if you live by the gun, you go die by the gun. And I should preface my comments by saying this again. I ain't go preach because Sunday is already over. But that is a true statement. Some of those gunmen know that, but they think that because they have a Bible, a small Bible in their pocket, they think that they are blessed by the word of God, but they're in the church of God, killing the people of God. That is not godlike behavior. Okay, so I just needed to say that, bro, because again, it kind of, I wouldn't say traumatizing, but it kind of made my knees nimble or shake a bit. Just like, yeah, so I just want to just say that, bro. It's kind of sad, but yeah, that's how I just want to open things. Now on to Manchester United news, because we're still on this racist piece. Okay, so Britain's, this is what it says. Britain's Prince William attacks despicable racist abuse of footballers. What I've been telling you guys in the last video podcast. Why are you racially abusing players that you don't even know? You have never spoken to, and they definitely don't even know you. What he was basically saying, he was getting at footballers, more specifically Marcus Rashford, who has been under scrutiny based on racist comments. And Prince William, if you guys don't know, is the president of the Football Association, and he basically spoke out today based on social media companies, based on the racial posts. Oh, so not only is Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, Axel Twansibi, I shouldn't leave him out, but he was getting racial comments as well. I should have mentioned him as well in my last video podcast. But also Chelsea's defender Reece James and West Brom's Romain Swayers. So I guess these bunch of boys have been under the branch or under the umbrella of racial abuse. Like I told you guys, there's a difference between subjective criticism, objective criticism, destructive criticism, and constructive criticism. I don't know where you get this racial prejudice or racial abuse from. That is not a part of the branch, of the group, or the bunch, I should say. Why are you attaching racial comments, racial abuse to that of a player's performance, whether it was poor or whether it upward from a great performance? Why? That is not the best support, bro, because again, Rashford was just getting into it based on his performance against Arsenal. He was just getting into it. And the reason why I felt compelled to be doing an addendum to my last video podcast is because, I got a feedback. By the way, I should just preface my comments by saying this. It's been a long while. The person, he removed it, or it could be a she. She said, She could probably dislike the video at first, but she said, you know what, let me just listen to this video podcast just one more time so that I can see if I got anything correct or incorrect. And she listened to it again. Again, I'm just talking crap. And then she said, oh, you know what, I'm going to retract back my dislike. Because someone disliked my video my last video podcast. And if memory serves me correctly, the last dislike I got, it was a bunch of them by the way, was in the prime time of the summer. Yeah, it was in the prime of the summertime of last year. Yeah, I was getting a lot of dislikes. Yeah, like a lot. But that shows appreciation either way. That means you watch my video podcast and you have spent the time, you have invested time to watch this dumbass talk crap, run his mouth. But this is what basically prompted me to be doing a follow-up to my last video podcast, because I got a feedback in my comment section last night, and I guess he's trying to defend, because I guess he's one of those racial commenters, and this is what he basically said in my comment section. Of course, I could have deleted the comment, but I needed to read this comment so you guys can hear what he has to say. The name of the user is Gertrude. I don't have any sympathy for someone who wrongfully earns 200,000 euros per week for kicking a ball. Maybe they should have spent more time at school and learned to ignore name calling. Pathetic. Bro, I don't know where you stand, because this one's like one of those neutral on the fence type of comments, because on one side you're criticizing Martial, but it's like on the other end you're questioning why they're calling him different names, bad names, criticisms and bad claims. Like, bro, what side on the fence are you? Let me read it to her because it didn't sink in. This is what the commenter said. I don't have any sympathy for someone who wrongfully earns 200,000 per week euros, 200 euros per week, 200,000 euros per week for kicking a ball. Maybe they should have spent more time at school and learned to ignore name call pathetic. This is why some of you guys need to stay in school now. You're talking about players spending more time in school and learn to ignore name calling. Nigga, you should have go to school, finish your diploma if you had a diploma to finish or accomplish or complete, and don't ignore English. Some of you guys are just ignorant, belligerent, and unintelligent. What kind of comment is this, bro? What kind of comment is this? Are you trying to endorse? Are you trying to enforce your racial commentary based on Martial? Because I'm pretty sure you're getting at Martial. Martial earns like 195k per week, if not 200. I think Rashford earns probably 200. Luke Shaw, I know he wasn't talking about Luke Shaw because Luke Shaw is white, and Luke Shaw in terms of his performance has been bright, and plus Luke Shaw is white. So he's not in that can of worms right now. But this commentary kind of dawned on me because, again, why are you levying racial comments based, again, I don't want this video to be long, but why are you levying racial commentary on that of Rashford? They are not your enemies, they are not your adversary. They didn't do anything wrong to you. I would hope not. So I don't know why you're levying criticism against Rashford, bro, or Martial. That shouldn't give you the green light or the go ahead to racially abuse them. Because again, bro, if you're doing that, I think you're a scum of the earth. Plus, I think that's just ignorant. I think that's just immature. You guys should do better than that, man. Why are you levying criticism against young players that is probably the same age as you, if not you're older than them? And again, I would hope not. No old head in terms of being a veteran Manchester United fan since the 70s, the 80s, 90s, and so forth, or the early 2000s, that are stating these comments right here. So, in my opinion, and you know what they say about opinions, my opinion is that I think it's more millennial Manchester United fans that started to support United in the 2000 in the 2010 era, But it kind of digs deep, bro, because these are the things that can make or break a player. I don't think so many guys are aware or conscious of that, or if you're conscious of it, you just don't care. But understand that these comments can actually mentally damage a player. If he's young and fragile, if he has thin skin, if he doesn't have tailor-made alligator skin or thick skin, that is where it can come in his skin and affect him up here. So I don't think so many guys are aware of that. There is a thing known as e-bullying. I think e-bullying, where you're bullying basically online. Do you know there are a lot of children that have committed suicide based on e-bullying, as I would call it, just because someone told him, "Man, you ain't good enough, man. You're short, you're fat. No one wants you. No girl wants you." Or if you're living racial comments, that might actually damage a person. You don't know how thick their skin is. You don't know how strong their mentality is. So you don't know if these comments that you're spewing or spraying is having an effect on his mentality. That might actually destroy the performance of Rashford. Although Rashford is playing it off like he's saying, "Yeah, I'm a black man and I have my own plan, and my plan is for you guys not to allow your criticisms to get under my skin, because I know what I'm worthy from outside and within." You see me? So what you're basically saying, racial comments, you're not going to bother me in the slightest. I am my own man. Okay? Some of you guys need to have a life. Some of you guys live in your mother basement, you're on the internet all day, you have nothing to do but to go astray, and you want to level criticism against young players like Rashford. Come on, bro. We know Rashford has not been that. Because basically, I think Rashford has two type of egos. When he's like off the pitch, he's like a Mother Teresa type. He's like the male version of a Mother Teresa, where he's caring, he's nurturing, he's distributing. He's like a good Samaritan off the pitch, as relates to like helping children. On the pitch, my man is like a Hitler type. He's like a heartless Hitler. He doesn't want to pass the ball. Ask Cavani, he will tell you. And there are times he just wants to take things on his own. So, is he open for criticism? Yes, he is. But don't levy racial abuse to it. You don't know what that guy might be going through. You don't know how thick his skin is or how thin his skin is. You don't know how strong his mentality is. No, this can make and break a player. Because I don't watch basketball that much, if not at all. But the former legend in basketball, Michael Jordan, he would say this. Because him and Kobe Bryant had elite, what they would call elite mentality. Basically, and I would probably put Cristiano Ronaldo in this lot as well. Those players are so competitive that any small job that is taken at them, any small criticism or insult that is taken at them, they're going to use that as fuel to prove them wrong. They're going to use that as fuel to prove his doubters, his haters, his harshest critics wrong. For some other players, God forbid, they might find a rope, go find an apple tree outside, and go call it a day. For some other persons, they might not want that type of lifestyle, but they'll just go on the highest precipice and just call it a day and just jump off. You don't know what you are doing with your comments. Your comments have effect. A lot of persons, definitely in their younger years, are committing suicide. Okay? So be wary and conscious of where you're criticizing. You don't know what they're going through in their life. You don't know if they are divorcing the love of their life. They thought they love, But if you're doing these type of things, but what does that say about you? If you're a racist, keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. Be racist to yourself. Be racist to yourself. No one needs to hear your racist comments. No one needs to know that you're racist. And that goes if you're white, black, brown, you're almost white. You're a snow bunny type, you're Caucasian, Asian, Middle Eastern, Latino, Hispanic, whoever you are. You don't know what is the blowback you can get based on your feedback in a racial way. Is me. So I don't want this video to be long. I just wanted to finish up. Because again, bro, I don't know what this comment is basically saying. Okay? You're saying you have no sympathy against a player that earns 200k per week. Bro, if you don't have sympathy for that person, that doesn't give you the green light to racially abuse the person. I can't speak for your country, but that don't even make no sense. So with that being said, bro, before I run my mouth any longer, because I know you guys have to go to bed, but with that being said, you guys need to be conscious and aware of your comments. Your comments can be the betterment or the detriment. Most likely the latter. You don't know what type of energy you're giving. And that's why comments and texting can be misinterpreted, because you don't know the verbal tone that is said behind the text or said behind the comment. So it can be misinterpreted. So that being said, bro, like and subscribe to the channel. Share the channel to other Manchester United supporters. I'll link you guys in the next video podcast. Stay blessed and don't stress. Adhere to your curfew. I'm out.